Welcome, everyone. This is Sam Baisla, and I am thrilled to announce today's discussion today. We're going to talk about the revenue growth engine. Whether you're running a B2B business or whether you're running a D2C brand or a B2C brand, if you are in the early stages of growth, this session is going to be extremely useful for you. In fact, I'm going to make sure that you build your revenue engine with me live today. So grab your pen and a notepad and walk with me as we build that revenue system for you. Now, for that matter, just to give you a quick glimpse of it, I've been doing business, working, selling, building revenue systems for over 24 years now, or as I say, quarter of a century. Sounds cool, right? I have hired, trained, managed over 500,000 people and been an entrepreneur investor myself for over 20 years. The ton of experience that I've learned, the things that I've done wrong, the mistakes that I've made, I have combined everything into this. Now, this is not the first time that I'm doing this workshop. I keep on doing that, but it's been a very, very long time that I do. So if you are watching me live from Facebook, maybe from YouTube, maybe from LinkedIn, just let me in the comments, wherever you're watching me from, two things. One, is my voice and audio clear and visible to you? Can you see the video right? Can you listen to me right? That's one thing that I want you to tell me in the comments. And also tell me, what do you do? Is it the business that you run? Is it that you work for another business? And which city are you watching me from? All right. As I wait for your comments, just to make sure that the audio and the video is all right, I'm going to grab a glass of water. There's going to be an exciting journey today. Trust me. All right. Let me see the comments. Voice is not audible, somebody says. Well, that was a bit while ago. अभी आ गई होगी voice. Okay. I'm sure you can hear me now. I'm sure you can hear me now. तो मैंने जो बोला फिर इतनी देर से आपको सुनाई नहीं दिया. Damn, such a bad thing. All right, welcome everyone. My name is Sam Baisla, and I am going to talk about how to build a revenue growth engine for your business. If you're a business, or you're running a business, or you're working in a business, and if you want to grow your revenue, and you're at a stage of maybe doing 1 CR, 50 lakh, or whatever, or zero revenue for that matter, and you want to scale it 10x, you want to scale it 100x, this is the workshop, this is the discussion that you must be part of. I'm going to actually take you through and I'm going to help you to build your revenue engine today live, right? So grab a pen and paper and make notes. This session is going to be extremely helpful. But before I move forward, before we move further, I just want to ensure that my voice is clear, my video is clear. So let me know in the comments if you're watching me from Facebook or LinkedIn or YouTube. Just tell me in the comments if you're able to hear the voice properly, if you're able to see the video properly. All right, so that's one thing. The another thing that I want you to tell me is if you're running a business or working for a business, right? That's very important because most of the things that we're going to talk about today are going to be very relevant and very practical for a business owner. You would be able to understand that stuff and apply that stuff if you're a business owner. So I want to know that if you're a business owner or not. I'm waiting for the comments. All right. The voice should be fine now. Can somebody help me with the audio? Super, super, super. All right. Okay, okay. So now somebody says that the voice is audible. I'm going to grab a lot of questions today. So if you have questions for me, keep typing those questions, and we're going to take those questions live today, and I'm going to try and address all the questions. If any questions is left, we will run to that question later. No problem. Without wasting any more time, Please keep telling me if you're an owner of a business, what is the revenue that you're doing, and where are you watching me from, which city? Let's jump into this right away. All right, so the revenue growth engine. What do I call a revenue growth engine? All right, so let's combine two things very clearly. People talk about marketing, lead generation, demand generation, or whatever, or branding for that matter. And then there is another part which is sales, which is deals. You close those leads, you convert them into money. Of late, when internet and social media has grown, these two departments, the marketing, the sales, companies that we've helped, over 1,020 companies that I've built, failed, grown in my life, we've realized that no longer these two departments live separate. There is no marketing and there is no sales. There is one combined department or a system that we call the revenue system. If your companies or if your teams are not working together, they're not integrated, you're already losing. And this is the reason I always call it the revenue growth engine, not the marketing or lead generation growth engine, not the sales growth engine, it is the revenue growth engine. In today's discussion, we're going to talk about some of the fundamentals that how you build digital a business in a digital world. We're going to talk about specifically B2B business growth and of course either fundamentals of growing other businesses also. It's also very important and then why a building a personal brand is going to be very important in this world and definitely the world that is being now powered with AI and the steps that you can transition your business from completely being dependent on you or one person and stuck in a kind of revenue that you are to a level wherein it is not dependent on you and it translates into a brand that is a business brand and that runs on an automation, sort of automation, right? I'm going to also help you build your revenue engine as I promised in the beginning. So keep pen and paper ready and keep asking questions to me. Just a bit of understanding about who am I. I've been working for 24 years now. This is an old presentation. And mainly what I've done in my life is I've sold stuff, almost everything. I've sold stuff with Indians, Americans, Europeans, and Gulf. I've sold almost everything under the planet. And I've built large sales teams multiple times, uh, over 500,000 people, as I have been telling you. And also, I have a lot of people who follow me, my work, and these are mostly the business owners from India, from Europe, from Middle East, over 300,000 people. Enough about me. These are some of the companies that we worked with. This is an old presentation as I talk about. These numbers have grown. Brand Samosa, Sales Brigade, Modern Teams. There are multiple ventures that I've built for myself. And we've worked with over 300 companies. And these are IT companies, travel companies, as you can say, consulting companies as Tajurba, T10 Sports, which is a manufacturer of uniforms. In fact, they sponsor one of the T20 IPL T20 teams also. And this is a large government organization into the certification, multiple brands. All right. So you can look me up on LinkedIn and you can reach out to us. Let's understand the fundamentals of a business. If you want to build a business, if you want to build a revenue engine, there are fundamentals that you've got to be understanding. Not spend more of time on it, just quickly rush through this particular part. You build something, you sell it, as simple as that. All right. Now, what you build, it can be product, it can be a physical product, it can be a digital product, it can be a service, but you have to have something that you are building and then you are selling it to somebody. If you don't do these two things, you're not doing a business. And a lot of business owners that I talk about often confuse this particular basic understanding. All right. Now, there are two parts to building something and selling something. In fact, three questions that are very important. You're going to be understanding all of those. So, and this is going to build the foundation of your revenue engine as I'm talking about. Okay. A lot of people are not able to answer these questions. So when I ask these questions to you, you're going to be answering these questions to yourself. Write the answers on a piece of paper. So there are parts of what you build. And I'm sure if you have a product, you already know this, but sit down and ask the question that what have you built, the product services that you're providing to the market, the value that you're providing to the market, uh, does the market want it today? Maybe 5 years later, or maybe 5 years earlier, the market wanted. But if the market doesn't want it today, you've got to be changing what you are building, what you're providing to the market. And then is something that you're providing to the market, is it relevant and close to your heart? Because if your heart not into it, you'll not be able to do it well. And then do you have the skills around it? Okay, so that's a very simple part. But the more important part is that who's your target audience, like who you are selling it to, how, like the process and systems, and the most important questions, why will they buy it? All right. If you don't have a question of the answer to the question, who's your target audience, will be the type of companies, the size of the companies, the location of the companies, industries they belong to, who inside the companies are the decision makers. We call that ICP, ideal customer profile. If you don't have a clarity on that, what kind of content that you will be providing, which platforms you'll be using, if you're going to run ads or not, these are questions you will not be able to answer, right? And what processes you will be using to build your revenue engine will be depending on your ICP. All right, that's very simple question. So take your time, write the answer to this particular question. All right, I'm going to skip this particular one. This stage zero is when you just have a skill and idea, and then you have some products, you have an audience, and you do certain sales, and then you move to the stage two, wherein you shift your personal brand to your business brand. Basically, I'm assuming that you are somewhere between stage two and stage three. When you already have a product and already have a service, you have some customers that you're selling it to, you just want to grow from where you are today. All right, let's skip this particular part. The most important question, I always ask this. Whenever people ask me that, what do I need to do to generate more leads? Or which platform should I go for? What kind of content we should be doing? Should we be running ads? Should I be hiring more salespeople? All these questions. And if you also are the struggling with these questions, you got to be answering the three questions for yourself. If you cannot answer these questions, whatever I say is going to be stupid and ignore it. All right. Now, what content you will be providing, how will you be generating more leads, which platforms you should be using, whether you should be running ads or emails or WhatsApp, all of that depends on who's your target audience, right? And when I say who's the target audience, you got to be going very, very detailed. If it's a B2B, if the companies are your target audience, you've got to be asking yourself questions: which kind of companies, the size and the scale of the companies, number of employees and revenue, the industries they belong to, locations these companies are in, and then inside the companies, who are the decision makers? These are the department heads, middle managers, CEOs, CXOs, who. Unless you answer these five questions, you do not have a clarity of who's your ideal customer profile is, and certainly you'll not be able to answer the next question, that where do you find them? Once you have a clarity of your target audience, you know where to find them. In a B2C environment or a D2C environment, if you can answer the questions like, who's my target audience? The age group, very important. Age group will decide and which platform they will be, and that will decide what kind of strategy you'll be using. Will you be running ads or organic or community building, like what you're going to do? And that platform, pillar platform, will answer the question what kind of content you should be running. All right. So define your target audience. If you're a B2C, age group is very, very important. Gender is very important. The locations are very important. The customers or the prospects in urban cities behave very differently from the customers, prospects in semi-urban or tier two cities or rural areas. Indians behave very differently from the way Americans behave. So who are your target audience? Okay, I'm going to give you some time to write down the answer to these questions. Once you do that, you will be able to move to the next step, which is which pillar platform. And see, there is a very important question that people keep on asking me all the time, that which platforms we should be dominating. Like our revenue engine, should we be doing Instagram and Facebook and YouTube and Twitter and LinkedIn? Should we be doing social? Should we be doing WhatsApp? Should we be doing email ads? This is all digital. All right. Then there is an offline market also. Should we be building communities, networking, offline advertisement, partnerships? What? Well, you can do everything, right? Ideally, you should do everything. But hear me, answer this question. Can you do everything? Do you have the money to do everything? That's an important question, right? Now, well, you can answer, oh, you know what? I can spend more money if I get more money from the market. Yeah, I understand that. But you have what you have in your pocket right now, and you got to be very, very wise to decide where I want to spend that money. So my suggestions are that forget about everything, find out that one platform which has 80% of your target audience, 80% of your target audience, right? And if you can just focus on that one platform, 80% of your problems are going to be solved. That, my friend, is what I call the pillar platform. All right. So yes, you can do Twitter. Yes, you can do emails. Yes, you can do WhatsApp and everything. But you've got to be finding one platform where your target audience is most likely available. If they use emails, you got to dominate email. If they are business owners, corporate executives, you got to target LinkedIn. If they decide based on YouTube, go after YouTube. But you pick up one pillar platform and you consolidate on there. For example, when I started, I knew my target audience were business owners. I was not selling anything to young people. Heck, that was my job, right? I quit training. So I knew where my target audience is, LinkedIn. And that's where I consolidated. And as you can see, it's been over 3, 4 years now since I've been posting consistently on LinkedIn, but I still have 254,000 people on LinkedIn. 80% of them are business owners. Most of the things that I've done in last 7 years is because of LinkedIn, based on LinkedIn, right? So that is your pillar platform. Do I have Facebook page? Of course, yes, I have Facebook page. Do we do ads? Yeah, we do truckload of ads. We run so many Facebook, Meta, Instagram ads. Do we do WhatsApp automation? Yes, we do. Do we do email marketing? Yes, we do. Do we have Instagram? Yes. We do everything. But at the beginning, you got to be focusing on one particular platform, which is your pillar platform. And that depends on the ideal customer profile, the ICP, the target audience that we just talked about. Now, I'm spending so much time on this because this is critical, absolutely important. And everything else you're going to ask me in the presentation today is going to be based on this particular question. Your entire strategy depends on this, right? And then, of course, the last question is going to be, what exactly are you going to make them think, do, and feel like your brand, your value offering? What is it that you're actually doing with them? If any questions, let me know in the comment section. I'm going to move ahead very quickly. All right. Then, once you've done the homework, once you've understood who's your target audience, which platform I'm going to be dominating, then you go to the market. Okay. And what is the go to the market? Now you're going to go and dominate on that particular platform. How do you do that? Well, you build your profiles. It's a company profile, your own profile, and then you find out the right people that you're going to talk to. Now, there are ways that you can do it. Okay. There are organic ways and there are ads that you can run. So on LinkedIn, for example, you can use Sales Navigator filters and you can search companies based on their size and the location and industry. And inside the companies, you can also search the people based on their designations and everything. Like I'm sure you've used that. If not, I have a small video how to exactly do that, and I can share that link in the comments if you ask for it. It's good 15-minute demonstration that I've done. Wherein I'm actually sharing my screen and taking everybody through how to create your funnel of target audience, right? How to put the filters and how to build that funnel for yourself. So you can do that. If your target audience, let's say, is on Facebook, now Facebook does not give you that filter because Facebook has a different purpose. Then you can run ads on Facebook. And today, running ads is different than it was 2 years, 3 years back with the latest update, but you can still target people very, very precisely. And to be honest with you, I have been running Facebook ads for good 8 years now, and every time we spend money, we get positive outcome, right? Irrespective of the percentage conversions. Of course, the people who've been part of my communities and my network and been engaging with me on LinkedIn and other platforms, they convert better and faster. I'm going to talk about that also. But Facebook ads, cold outreach on Facebook ads also convert very good. In fact, I'm going to share something today with you, which is live numbers of something that we've been doing for past 4 months, 5, 6 months rather. There are two products that I launched, and I wanted to test something that whether if I launch something which is completely not attached with me, we just create a product, we launch on Facebook ads, and leads come. My sales team talks to these people, and then whether we are able to convert these guys. Okay, so one is a product that we had for chartered accountants, and one is a product that we had for business owners. Okay, and small to medium business owners. And my ads on Facebook gave me different results. We sold in each products about 10 lakh each over a course of 2, 3 months, completely with the sales team. I was not involved in all lot. And these are new products. And in one of the cases, in fact, even the website is not live. All right. There was no social media presence. We wanted to experiment that particular thing. So uh, I'm going to share that today, in fact. Coming back to this one, when you identified your target audience and your pillar platform, then you create your profiles. Now, important thing about creating your profile, the company page, and your personal profile, or whatever profile that you have, is it should talk to your audience. When they come, they should read what value can you give them. It should be your online sales pitch, which is what's in it for them. Tell them, talk to them, what problems do you solve, why you're awesome. Two questions, right? What problems do you solve for them, why you're awesome. If your website, your social media pages do not say this, people have no reason to fill up a form, get in touch, talk to you. All right. So that's a fundamental thing. The second thing, when you go to the social media, you make sure that the target audience is you've identified, you're engaging with them. On LinkedIn, you can do that organically. You can go to the people's profiles and you can leave a comment and you can share and like what they're writing. On Facebook, if you do that, you can do that organically. If you are not able to do that, you don't have time, you can hire somebody, you can have your marketing team. But this is a job for marketing team, right? Building the profiles, going after these people, engaging with them, building relationships. You can also do something that is called engagement ads. Okay, so if you have to say something, for example, I don't know if you've been watching my ads for some time. I've been doing a lot of retarget, lead nurturing kind of ads, wherein I'm not selling anything. I'm just uh, educating my target audience, right? If you're a chartered accountant, for example, you've been receiving a lot of ads from my site for some time now. There are 15 videos, for example, I created 15, 20 minutes each, plus 15, 20 seconds each, and I'm picking up one topic and I'm explaining that particular topic. If I were to say that if you were with me on a phone call, right? So I've broken down the entire sales page and I've created these 15 small videos and we're running ads and all those ads are going to my ICP, ideal customer profile. So they're scrolling and they get this value, and I'm not selling. I'm just adding some value in their life. So what is happening is that they're seeing me again and again, and these are ads that are not lead generation ads. These are video ads. So the money that it costs is so low, you'll not be able to believe it. So, for example, a playthrough is something that is the benchmark when you run the retargeting ads on it. And if somebody watches your video for 15 seconds or more, it is counted as one playthrough. My playthrough cost for these videos have been sometimes 3 paisa per person watching for 15 seconds plus, 5 paisa, 10 paisa, right? So in 1 rupees, I'm able to show that 15, 20 seconds of my video to 10 people. So if I'm spending 100 days, 100 rupees every day, uh, these are what, 1,000 people every day that are watching these ads. If I do that for a week, there are 7,000 people who watched these ads like 10 times, 10 different stuff that I've done. I've effectively replaced a huge sales army, right? Thankfully, these video ads today can be created using AI and AI avatar. So you even don't have to record. You don't have to use your face also. This is a very important part of generating high quality demand from the industry today, and it's very important to build this revenue engine that I'm talking about today, because the control that your salespeople have has been shifted from them to the market today. I'll explain that going forward. All right. So there are various ways that you can engage with your target audience, but it's extremely important that you engage with them before you start and try to sell them something. If you don't do that, don't expect your sales team to do wonders. And it does not matter how good your salespeople are. It does not matter how experienced they are. It does not matter how hardworking they are. And I'm into sales for 24 years. You don't know sales better than me. So you better listen to me what works in sales and what doesn't work when I'm telling you this. All right. Very important part. The power that salespeople has about a decade ago has been shifted from them to the customers now. Now nobody sells anybody. People buy. They decide when they want to buy. They decide on what terms. And if you've been with them in the journey, they will buy from you. Right? So this engagement is extremely important. You do it organically, do that by ads. You can also do that by WhatsApp automation. So we send a lot of WhatsApp to people, a lot of WhatsApp, like tons of. We send a lot of emails to people, like 20,000, 50,000 emails. So what is happening once I've identified my target audience? They're opening LinkedIn, they're seeing a direct message from me or a content from me. I think we are back on the audio side. I think I lost the audio. Just tell me. I just want to ensure that the audio is all right. Let me check the comments in the meantime if there are questions. So I'm taking a little pause here, and I'm expecting some questions from your side. And also just make sure in the comments tell me if my audio is visible, because I had some issues with the audio. Got a notification. Okay, anybody? I know I can see that people are watching. All right, super. All good. Let's move. Let's move then with this particular part wherein we are talking about going to the town. Second important step: building an audience, engaging with these audience. There are so many ways that you can do it. There is never enough that you can do it. And of course, when you build relationships and engage with them, you got to tell them what is it that you do for them. All right. Then comes the part of lead generation. Now, you would think that lead generation has to happen first. Well, you can do that, but these leads will not be converted. So I always suggest that engage, build relationships and community before you get them into the leads. And you can do that otherwise also. You can generate leads first. You can get them fill up a form. You can sign up for something, and then you can keep engaging with them. The engagement or the conversion will only happen if these leads are engaged enough. All right. This is the golden steps. If you want to remember this, take a screenshot maybe or write it somewhere. So you generate leads. You can run ads for that. You can, yeah, you can run ads, right? You can get database. There are multiple options. You can buy a database. You can scrap leads from uh, Google and other platforms. It depends, Nick, what you call a lead. If you call a phone number a lead, well, you can buy a lot of those. You can, if you call an email a lead, that is also possible. So let me give you a couple of secrets. LinkedIn, LinkedIn has been working on getting your profiles verified for a very, very long time. All right. While you verify your profile, it has to be verified on phone. Facebook also has done the authorization or verification, Instagram, Twitter, everybody. So what these platforms now have is your verified phone number. Okay. And when you run some automation or you invite people and you connect them on your LinkedIn, let's say all the first degree people that you have connected with, LinkedIn allows you to download their profiles with all the information. And their email that you will get will be the personal email that they use to create that LinkedIn profile. And the phone number that you'll get will be the phone number that they've used to verify the profile, meaning the email and the phone number both are latest and verified. And these are personal phones and personal emails. All right. If you're connected with somebody on LinkedIn, all the first degree people that you have, you can actually access their phone number and email and the latest personal. Okay. You can call them. You can send them WhatsApp message. You can send them an email. That is possible. This is the reason I always advise that the best strategy is going to be, especially if you are selling high value products to the CXOs and business owners, is to actually build a relationship with them on LinkedIn, add them into your network, and LinkedIn gives you like 30,000 direct connection limits. God knows for how long that's going to be, but at the moment it is 30,000. So if you're at 1,000, 2,000, 5,000, even 20,000 people, remove the ones who are not your target audience. Build relationships, add as many people as you can into your first degree, and then you can download their phone numbers and emails, and this is all authorized. Of course, if you've earned the right to talk to them, send them WhatsApp message and call them, that's a very different story altogether. For that is the reason I've been talking about engaging and building relationships and providing value so that when you send them a text message or a WhatsApp message or a phone call, they don't bother, like they don't mind. Or when you send them that email in the personal mailbox, which they use, right, they won't mind. That's a different story altogether, but this is something that can be done. Then there are platforms like Apollo and then the multiple others. You can just subscribe and you can get the emails and you can verify those emails. These are generally the commercially available emails, like the office emails. The hit ratios of these emails is very different, and then you can get phone numbers of local businesses on Google. Generally, local businesses on Google My Business, they provide their own personal number because they have to receive inquiries. So these are verified numbers. You can just run a lot of automation, scrap the data from there. So getting phone numbers and emails leads is not a big challenge in today's world. Not at all. Of course, you can run ads any given day. My favorite has been meta ads because they're cheap. And if you have great creativity, understanding, you can actually target the right people. Overall ROI scheme, still the best option. Oh, but that's not the big question. The question is how ready or likely these people are to talk to you or listen to you. Have you built that relationship? And that is where the lead nurturing comes in. Now, in order to nurture these leads, you have to provide them something that is valuable for them. Reaching out to them can be via ads, via emails, via WhatsApp, or via DMs also. That's not a problem. But you have to create some content which is useful, which is valuable for them. Okay, so that's the second part of it. So first was uh, the homework, like your strategy, then finding out which platform and all that you're going to go and who's your target audience. The second part was you dominate that platform per se, and then you get those people into your network, their contact numbers, their phone numbers, their emails, and you provide them value through WhatsApp, through email, through phone, through DM or whatever, right? That's the lead generation part. Now, that's the only thing that you got to do, right? That's the only thing that you got to do. Problem with most of the businesses is that these departments that I just talked about, these activities that I talked about, live in isolation. So they will have one social media team whose job is just to keep posting on social media. Then there is one lead generation marketing team whose job is just to get numbers. And then there is a sales team whose job is just to call these people, spam them with calls, or send them emails or whatever. These three teams are not working together. If the sales team does not tell the marketing that, okay, out of these 1,000 people, uh, these 200 said straight, no, don't call us, don't talk to us. These 200 said, we want to think about it. And these are the 200 who we think are eligible for our product and service. And we've sent them personal messages or proposals. Then the marketing team can target their focus, their activities accordingly, right? These 200 people who receive the proposals should receive a very different kind of message from marketing team. The WhatsApp message should be different. The email should be different. The social media post should be different. The DM should be different. The entire targeting audience is different now. They are at a different stage of the decision making. Therefore, the marketing team should work accordingly. If people are not at the proposal stage, and if they are at a different stage, the marketing should be talking to them on need recognition or different kind of content. This is possible. You have a CRM. In the CRM, sales team is working and they can update the lead status accordingly. The moment they do it, your marketing team gets the signal, and based on that, their actions are synchronized. Whatever the marketing team is doing, they've sent an email, they've sent in WhatsApp, all this activity, their social media engagement is synced into this CRM, wherein the sales team actually sees what is happening, what is not happening, who's received emails, who's responded, who's media post, and accordingly, they talk to these people. The revenue engine. That's what I call integrated revenue engine. That is possible today. There's a lot of AI that is also being used. I'm going to take you through a couple of things today. Now, there's an assignment for you. As I said, as I promised, that with me today, you're going to walk away with your own revenue engine. Okay? And this is how you do it. You create a buyer persona, or as I call the ICP, ideal customer profile, and it is different for B2B, different for B2C. Try to answer that question for yourself on a piece of paper right now. All right. Then you got to answer a question for yourself: which pillar platform you're most likely to find them, and when you want to engage with them, you want to send them some value. You're going to bring them into your leads or nurturing. You got to answer these 5 problems that they have. Okay, maybe 10, maybe 5, but your content should be solving a problem for them, helping them. If they don't care who you are, they don't care what you do. If they want to deal with you, they will ask questions and you can provide them credibility or proof or whatever. But when you create content, when you reach out through emails or WhatsApp or DMs, you got to be talking about their problems. So write down the 5 major problems that they face. If you don't have the answers, maybe you can use ChatGPT. If you want me to do that, I can do it right now. And I'll be answering that. One of Somebody's asking the question, how your team is going to help us in scaling our sales. Well, we have salespeople, right? We hire and train them. They know all of the things that I'm talking about. We have a system that we've been building and engaging for companies for a very, very long time. So if you want to do this, all of this that I'm talking about, you can do it on your own, of course, or you can hire sales cricket, right? You're going to have sales agents hired, trained properly on everything. You're going to create lead generation and lead nurturing systems for you, all within 1 week. In the second week, they start dialing. We already have leads. We're going to nurture these leads for you. From the second week, no matter what you do, B2B, B2C, small, large, it does not matter. So the questions are very simple. Like you can say, oh well, I'm gonna try it myself. Yeah, go ahead. Try and find out salespeople. You're gonna run ads or ask agencies. You're gonna do interviews, shortlist them. It's a month's task at least. Then you're gonna train them. You're gonna give them scripts and FAQs, and you're gonna train them on your product and everything. Then they start dialing. But for that, you need to provide them leads, and then they're going to build their pipeline, and then you're going to manage them. If they don't perform, you're going to let them go or replace. So this is the second month, and you're at least going to give 2 months to one particular salesperson. So you're going to burn your 3 months on your own. And who are you? You are a business owner. You have finance to take care of, your product to take care of, your delivery to take care of, and if you're a founder, maybe investors also to take care of. And if you're a tech founder, your product, your tech to become a sales head. So the benefit of working with Sales Brigade is very simple. You are importing a ready-made marketing, lead generation, lead nurturing, and deal closing team. Entire revenue engine. You're importing that revenue engine inside your business. We can deploy that and starts functioning in less than 10 days. The value, well, we only charge for the cost. If you were to hire a salesperson, let's say 30,000 rupees a month, and if you were to hire two salespeople, 30,000 rupees a month, just pay us that. Only the cost. No overheads, no office, no management. We bear that cost. If you were to spend, let's say, 50,000 on ads or generating leads, just pay that money. We don't charge any management of ads or strategy or whatever. We work on it, we close the deals, and when we close the deals, we make money. Plain and simple. And this is useful and it works for smallest possible companies. Let's say you don't have any salesperson at the moment. You're a chartered accountant today, and you're busy, and you want to start with one salesperson, and you have a minimum budget. Yeah, we can do that. All right. We will build your profiles. We'll find out your ICP, create a strategy, generate leads for you, and the sales team is going to call them, book up appointments for you, qualify the sales deals for you, book up appointments, and maybe follow up and close also for you. Simple. So Sales Brigade is going to be, can be your first sales marketing team, all combined in one. And we've been doing it for 24 years, remember? 24 years. The chances of we doing it wrong are extremely low, literally impossible. What, you want to try it on your own? Good luck. I can't stop you, right? You will end up spending the same amount of money and more, and your time and your energy, and you're 100% likely to make mistakes, which we've already made. It's a no-brainer for any person to not try to burn their own fingers to know that fire is hot. Ask somebody who's already burned their fingers. So give it to my team, see the magic. And if you don't like it, you can fire us, right? You can fire your teams, but you have to give them notice, right? At least 1 month. Yeah, you can fire us also. Anyway, coming back to the presentation, I gave you an assignment. I'm sure you've done the assignment. And if you have questions for me, guys, let me know in the comments. I love answering the questions. Let me go and check on platforms. If you have questions, I'll be very happy. Where are the questions? Where are the questions? Yeah, here we are. And I'd ask my team to write certain questions in YouTube chat. If I wanna, like, if you want me to answer those questions, what happened? Did I not go live on on LinkedIn? Hmm. Yeah, we are live on LinkedIn. Yes, we're live on LinkedIn, we're live on YouTube, we're live on Facebook, or I hope I'm live on Facebook. Yes, sir, we are. Anyway, anyway, coming back to the presentation. If you've done this particular exercise, your half job is done. Okay. If you want me to answer a specific question for you, I'll be very happy. I'm going to dive a little bit into understanding the B2B world, which a lot of people mistake. And this is where we have a specific expertise because we work with 300 companies in the B2B space. We've consulted over 1,000 companies. And most of the times, it's the same problem, same mistake. And the reasons are, or those problems are made and these mistakes are made, is because the business owners, the teams that they have, do not understand the way B2B functions today. So I'm going to give you something that is extremely critical, evidence-based, practical. Okay. These are the 6 things that you got to be always remembering, understanding. Maybe take a screenshot of this particular slide and you will be done with. First and the most important, B2B is a sales cycle which is very long. Well, because that you sell to B2B has a larger impact, the ticket size is bigger, many decision makers involved. It's not the individual's money, right? When I buy a shoe, I'm spending my own money. But if I'm a CFO of a particular company, and if I'm deciding to hire a chartered accountant agency or an auditing agency, I'm spending the company's money. Okay, so I got to be more accountable to that. Nobody's going to ask me where I spent my 3,000, 5,000 rupees to buy a shoe. But if I spend those 3,000 rupees from a company's account, I'm going to be asked a lot of questions. So it's complicated. There are many decision makers involved, uh, and more money is involved. Stakes are high. Once they take a decision, uh, that decision is going to impact their teams, the way they operate for a very long time. Also, the B2B world, you got to be understanding that there is an information overload. Okay, what I mean by that is that let's say you're selling an audit consultancy or a GST consultancy or you're selling an HR software for that matter. All right, anything. You got to be understanding that there will be users of the product. For example, in HR's case, HR, the people, then decision makers, whether that software should be used or not. Those decision makers are going to be the HR heads. Then there will be somebody who will approve the finances, which is probably the CFO or the finance head. And then overall, if data security and everything is involved, the IT head or the chief information officer is going to be involved, certainly. And if it's a small company, the decision is going to be finally routed through the managing director or the CEO or the founder of the company. So these are 5 people involved, at least minimum. If you want the deal to be done in your favor, just ensure this. Imagine what is happening. There are people deciding on the table, and because the decision has to be fair, these 5 people are sitting on the table. On the table, there are 7 proposals. One of them is yours. And remember, these the CEO, the CFO, the HR head, they are experienced people. So they have network and connection. There are vendors that they worked with. So everybody has their favorite people. On the table, out of these 5 proposals, everybody has a favorite that, okay, I want to work on that one. I want to work with that person. Your goal should be to make sure that out of these 5 people, at least 3 or 4 of them have heard good things about you, right? If these 3 or 4 people have heard good things about you, when your name comes up, when they have to decide which proposal they want to accept, uh, these 3 people should be talking positive in your favor, or at least don't have anything negative to talk about, or at least have heard about you, right? At least have heard about you. Uh, and because they are using phones and information is bombarded, the chances of they remembering about you is extremely low and extremely like almost negligible. Therefore, I say when you work in that environment, make sure that your target audience ICPs are very clearly defined and you engage with them consistently without selling. So that at least the principle of repeatability, familiarity, if they're even familiar with you and your name or your brand, the chances of they recalling and say, yeah, I've heard about them. Yeah, it's a good company. Yeah, yeah, something I remember about them. The chances of they saying that, yes, I've heard them about them is very, very high. And that's a win already. All right. That's critical. So here are some numbers, in fact, and this is an old report, as I said, but you got to be understanding how the buyers in B2B environment take decisions. This is from Gartner. There are multiple other agencies, these kind of researches. Now, this graph says that the buyers in a B2B cycle, how do they decide when they want to buy something? All right. So 27% research independently online. So if I'm that CXO that you want to, you know, inspire or engage to buy your product, or a CFO, my decision making, if 100% is a decision making, 27% is I'm relying on my own research. So I'm going to go on Google, on Chat GPT, on some platform, and I'm going to search about what my problem. I don't know you exist. I don't care if you exist. I have a problem that I'm trying to solve. So I'm solving that. I'm trying to solve that problem, right? I'm asking, I'm facing this problem. What can I do? If a video pops up, or an or a message from you, or some ad comes from you about that same topic, solving that particular question, I spend time with you, right? Then there are other ways of these people deciding. 22%, they are meeting other people. They're talking to others. Hey, you have the same problem. How did you solve that? What are you doing to solve that? If they tell something relevant, it's making sense to you. And then only 17% decide by meeting the potential suppliers, which basically says, who's the potential supplier? You. Only 17% of their decision is based on what you, your company, your website, your salespeople tell them. What it means is 83% of the decision in a B2B buying cycle is decided even before the buyer has talked to your sales team. 83%. 83%. 17% is the power that you, your sales team, your proposals, your website has over the decision making process. That's why our sales team is not selling. That's why my sales team is not selling, right? Who am I? Right? I want my sales team to sell more. And back then, when I was doing a lot of content, and I'll be honest with you guys, okay, I was doing this is the reason I'm doing this whole goddamn thing. Back then, I was doing a lot of content. I was sharing a lot of stuff on LinkedIn, and I was doing videos and doing events and everything. People were getting a lot of information, a lot of useful stuff from our side. So they were familiar with me, my brand. They were familiar with the problems, and we were talking about the solutions to those problems. And therefore, this 27%, right, and this 22%, we were featuring in all of this. And of course, these 17% on my team. So the decision making, 83% was happening before the sales team was engaged. We just engaged, grabbed that about 50% of the time with them. And now when I've been not doing a lot of content, uh, the sales has not been coming that easy. It becomes difficult. Now, I'm not saying that you as a founder have to like sit and do videos and everything. I just love doing it. Okay, this is a different case. If you can do it, great. If you don't want to do it, it's all right. You can write emails, right? You can have your marketing team write emails, and you can create posters and ebooks. You can use AI to create a lot of videos. You can organize events. There's a lot of stuff that your company can do. All the content can go from the company page. Just make sure that it goes to the right people, and it solves the right problems, helps them actually in whatever they're doing. Was this surprising? Did you get the answer that why your sales team is not able to convert? And that's why replacing sales team, hiring more people, training them well, running after them, penalizing them is not going to help you, because that's changed. Well, back like 20 years back, I started my career then. There was no social media available, there was no internet available, not that much. And the decision making mostly people were taking based on what the salesperson tells them. And talk to any insurance guy or any finance guy or any person who was selling even B2C products, but they would tell that the sales conversions were very, very high because people were not listening a lot of stuff from the company's side, or whatever the stuff that they were listening was only from the company. There was no way for them to go and verify that stuff third party on internet, on Facebook. And today, this situation has changed completely. People are getting 15,000 posts in their Facebook feed every damn day. Then there is Instagram, then there are ads, and then there are calls, and then there are coaches and influencers. Everybody bombarding stuff at your consumer. And when a consumer gets so much, the chances of they remembering you is like what, almost zero. Then they don't trust you, they don't believe you, of course, and they're confused. And this is applicable to B2C and B2B both. Now, if you do not understand that as a business owner, and if you do not walk in this direction, well, I don't know what to do with you. Like, I don't know what to say. And different people tell the same stuff differently. People will come back and say, content is the future. Well, yeah, every company has to act and function like a media company. If you don't do that, you're in a big problem. But because the AI is here, creating content is easier. You can actually do this. And it gives a lot of advantage to the small and medium businesses, because a lot of people are not doing this kind of stuff, okay, especially in the B2B environment. So this 27% research that people are doing independently, you can dominate this particular part. Like, you can create specific case studies or videos around these topics about your target audience, and whenever they try to find out that information, you're going to pop up in their feeds, and they're going to listen to you, they're going to talk to you. Good. Yeah. Now, another interesting fundamental number that you should be understanding. Customers are already 50%, 57% of the way down the purchase path before they consider engaging with you. Which means whether I want to talk to a service provider or not, or a solution provider or not, is a question that comes in very late in the buyer journey. The first and most important question is, do I have a problem? The second question is, why do I have a problem? Then I want to educate myself. What can be the probable causes and solutions of this problem? Once I'm done with that, then I'm going to go which one of the available service providers is the best one. Let me take an example with you and ask this question to yourself and answer it honestly. When you get a stomach ache or headache or heartache or whatever, some health problem, before you visit a doctor or a hospital, do you not pick up your phone, search on Google, and try to find out what I'm feeling this and I'm feeling this and I'm feeling this? What can be the cause? What can be the solution? Do you not do that? And my doctor friends tell me that everybody does that. Google search tells you that everybody does that, right? Because information is available. People want to educate themselves. And the reason people do that is because once you educate yourself about the problem and the causes and the solutions, When you actually talk to a service provider or a solution provider, you can ask them intelligent questions. And when after that process you end up buying their solution, you're you're actually buying and you're making your own decision. You're not being sold. Nobody likes to be sold. An informed and educated customer feels better about the decision, right? So about 60%, like 57% here, and in the previous slide I showed you, majority of the decision has already been taken before the buyer actually tries to reach out to the salesperson of the company or the service provider. And if you're not coming along with that journey, you have very low chances. Let me show some other numbers to you. Now, this says that 77% of the B2B buyers state that their latest purchase was very complex or difficult, which basically says that they 60% or 83% decision making is happening on their own. They're trying to search information, they're trying to gather information, they're trying to use Google, they're trying to use Chat GPT or Gemini to educate themselves about the problem that they have, the causes of the problem, the solutions of the problem, and how to solve that problem, right? Who are the right people? This entire process they're doing on their own. But about 77% of them say that they find it very difficult and very complex, that nobody is guiding them through that maze. But this is how it's happening, and it's complex and difficult for them. On the other hand, if you see this number over here, you will find that information that helps customers advance drives ease and high quality deals. So change in likelihood of purchase is experience. So if these buyers find it easy during this process, if somebody can help them during this process, the chances of they buying increase almost 3 times, 300% growth. So if you're doing, let's say, 1 lakh in revenue today, only if you just go and help your prospective buyers in their buyer journey, which they are going to do on their own, they are doing on their own, and they're finding it difficult and they're struggling with it. If you just go with them and help them at their stage, what is it that they're struggling with? What are the questions that they're trying to answer, and give them the right answer, help them. Don't sell, help. The chances of they buying from you increases 3 times. 3 times. Let me say that 3 times. You will end up selling 3 lakh if you were selling 1 earlier. If you were selling 1 crore earlier, you'll end up selling 3 crore now. And that's not the only benefit. There's another benefit that you're going to have. Read this one, and you can take a screenshot of this one. This is not my report, this is Gartner's report. It says the change in likelihood of high value, low regret deal. Now, high value, low regret is very critical. This works specifically well in high ticket sales. And if they go through this process, which they do, and if you are part of that process, not trying to sell, help them during this process, they're going to feel low regret, meaning they're going to feel that they took the decision, they're going to feel good about it. And what do people do when they feel good about something that they buy? Tell me, what do they do when they bought something which they feel really, really good about? They want to brag about it. They want to go to the town, they're going to talk to their friends, they're going to talk to everybody, they're going to say, this is what I bought, this is how I bought it, and this is awesome thing. Basically, this is a human need. So what's going to happen if this is the sales process that you use, if this is the revenue generation process that you use, these are the people who are going to be brand advocates. They're going to go and talk about you in the market. You're going to have high value, high ticket sales, and you're going to have a lot of references. Yeah, it's a win-win. Only thing that you have to do in this entire revenue engine that I'm trying to teach you here is shift your focus from I need to get these people and I need to rob them. You need to move from I need to sell to I need to help in their early buyer journey processes. And for that, you have to have a system, which I call the revenue system, right? Which I've explained earlier. You're going to find out who are your ICPs, ideal customer profiles. You're going to find out which platform that they are on, and you're going to create content so that you engage with them, build relationships, solve problems. If you do that consistently with a system And you can do that via running retargeting ads or DMs or WhatsApp and emails. You're going to have them come to you. Chances of them coming to you 3 times higher with high ticket, and they're going to give a lot of references. But you're not doing that. You will not do that. You will not do that. I know it, you'll not do it. Tell me why you'll not do it. Right? Why you'll not do it? Because you're busy, my friend. You're busy in managing teams, in managing offices, delivering services to your customers, and dealing with your investors and your electrician and your technology and everything. There are so many things that you have to do as a business owner. That is why you are there. Now, you cannot stop doing those activities, and because of that, you don't have this revenue engine and growth engine, and you're not getting high quality leads, and you're not converting them better and faster. And that is not bringing you more money. And because you have less money, you're always struggling. It's a catch-22 situation. It's a, what do you call it? Like, whatever, chicken and egg. That's a big trap. There are multiple things that you're stuck with, and I'm going to answer those if you let me know in the comments. Do you think this system is something that you got to be installing? You already have it. It's not functioning. This is something that is the right way to approach. Let me know in the comments. In the meantime, I'm going to take a couple of comments, and I have something really, really interesting for you in the next couple of present slides. Okay. Let me take some questions in the meantime. Where are the questions? Here are the questions. Okay, so the question is higher tail, what will be the source of leads and how we identify which lead is generous to spend time on? Well, the answer to this question depends on who are that you call the leads. And when you generate leads, there is a lead definition that you have to arrive at. Okay, in our language, like sales and revenue, we have different definitions. So there is something called a lead, which is basically a contact number or an email of somebody. Then there is a marketing qualified lead. Now, marketing qualified lead is something that your marketing team says this is qualified based on what we have as a qualification criteria. So if you don't have a qualification criteria, you don't have an MQL rating. Okay, so what is an MQL? How do you do that? Let me give you some simple example. There are two parts to it. One is the ability qualification ranking, and then there is an intent. So what is ability? If your product, it's, let's say it's costing like 50,000 rupees a month, then you got to make sure that this person or the company that you're selling to, they have a revenue to support it. Okay, can they actually afford what you're selling? So there are various ways of saying it. It's like they have the budget, authority to spend that budget, when they want to spend it, and the need of the product, BANT. Okay, so you can qualify on that. This is basic qualification. And then if they have an intent to buy your product. Now, intent is something which moves gradually. Initially, they have an intent just to hear from you. They've given you the permission to talk to you. It's a very beginning of the intent. Then when they say, oh, well, okay, now you can contact me. Here's my number, here's my email. That's a low intent lead. Qualified, like BNT qualified, but low intent. When these people start saying that, okay, I want to attend your webinar, or I want to have a video with you, or I want to talk to your sales team, they are showing intent to know more about your solution or your company. That's a medium to high intent. Then there is the high intent lead, which says, well, I know my problem, I know the solution, and I heard that you have a solution to that. Now I want to know how much are you going to charge about it. So tell me the proposal, send me the quotation. That is a high intent lead. So what has to happen is that the very beginning, The qualification criteria should be on BANT. Do they have the budget for your kind of product? If they have low budget, disqualify them. You don't want to work with them. Do they have the authority to spend that budget? Meaning, are they the decision makers, or do they have to talk to somebody, take permissions from them? And do they have the need of a solution that you're providing? If they have some other need, they want to talk about, they think there is something else that they're going to solve their problem. You don't want to talk to these people. And if they don't have a decision making criteria, for example, they are they are just exploring at the moment, but they want to take a decision 6 months down the line, there is no reason for you to talk to them right now. Okay, so BANT. Okay, qualify on them. Then you put them into your funnel, and then you move them from low intent to high intent. And you do that by creating content, by doing webinars, giving them video, giving them case studies, or your sales team comes into the picture here only. Sales team has to be divided in two stages. One is preliminary qualification. Who will call the MQLs, marketing qualified leads? So your marketing does the job. They bring in the leads into your CRM. They tag them MQL, MQL, MQL. Your sales team talks to them, and they ask them BNT questions only. Hey, we've seen that you've shown some interest in our partner services. We realize you have these problems, and I want to ask that, what is your budget? Are you the decision maker? When you're looking to solve the problem, stuff like that. There are only 4, 5, 6 questions that you ask them. Based on the answers, they mark them SQL, which is sales qualified leads. Now, SQLs are some leads that your sales team is going to work further. And they're going to update that in the CRM that, okay, these are SQLs. Now, the marketing knows these are SQLs, and these are the people who are going to receive the proposals. They want to know about the money, and they want to talk, decide whether you are the right company or not. So the marketing now is going to send them information around these questions only. And they're going to send them this information through emails, through WhatsApp, through DMs, into their LinkedIn and Facebook. They can also run some retargeting ads around these people. Parallelly, the sales team is going to talk to them, right? But now the same person is receiving very specific messaging from your side rather than your sales team running after them. So it's a very sophisticated mechanism, and it's called lead, MQL, SQL, opportunity, and the deal close. And the marketing and sales team works together on this one. We do that every day for ourselves and for everybody else also. You can implement it, or you can ask us to implement. I hope that was the answer to your question. Nutcut Nazaria. All right. I have another question, somebody. How to handle a query if the client asks? That's a very specific sales kind of question. And the client asks, how can we give percentage surety of conversion ratio? Well, there is no guarantee of a percentage conversion of leads, like how many leads will be converted. It depends on many, many variables. If you are engaging as a salesperson or as a sales company, you're engaging with the leads who are in the early stages of their buyer journey, the chances of they converting are very, very less. That's number one factor. So you got to be understanding at which buyer journey, at stage of the buyer journey they are at. Number one. Number two, it depends on the kind of product also that you're selling to them. If it's a high value product you're selling, if the decision making takes longer, they're not going to be converting very fast. So the sales cycle is going to be longer. If you are talking to people who've had bad experience in past with you or with somebody else, the chances of they converting you are going to be very less. When they talk to you, you send them a proposal. If the proposal is not relevant to them, it's not solving the problem, the budget is not appropriate, they are not going to convert with you either. Another factor can be when they talk to you, right? Every salesperson knows this, right? And give me a high five if you have heard this question. You've spoken to this prospect, you've explained everything, and they have listened to you ask questions, and then they say at the end, send me the details, I think about it. मैं सोच के बताता हूँ. I'll talk to my friends, I'll talk to my colleagues, I'll talk to my managers, I'll talk to my donkey, I'll talk to my dog, I'll come back. What do they think? What do you think that they do when they say that I'll come back? Well, they go back somewhere online, social media, they type about you. Whatever they're going to find about you will help them decide whether they want to do business with you or not. So your brand image, your perception in their mind also helps them take a decision. So the conversion percentage depends on these external factors about your brand and your product and solution that you're actually offering, the match of the product and the need, the capability of the salesperson, of course, and your marketing team's job that they have done. Based on that, the conversion percentages are decided. But we can always have some historical data around it. We've been working with so many companies, of course, so and then I know because I've been into sales, we can do some projections that, okay, in your case, based on your company, based on your brand, based on your leads, based on your sales quality, based on our experience, this is going to be the percentage conversion in month one, month two, month three. We can give this revenue projection and the cost projection, of course. And we do give that to our clients so that they have a broad, rough idea, which is very close. In fact, our projections are 80% accurate, 80 to 90% accurate. Uh, Week-wise milestones we give to every client, okay? Because we've been doing it for so long, we know what works, we know what doesn't work, all right? And based on that, you adjust. You go to town and you start working and you adjust. Right? If something is not working, you change the script. If a messaging is not working, you change the messaging. If the target audience is not resonating, you change the target audience. Okay, these are the things that you keep doing. If there's any more questions, I'll be very happy to answer. We are coming to the end of this particular presentation today. I'm very happy that so many people joined in. I am loving this because this is something that is very close to my heart. Trap, you are in. You don't understand B2B because it's complicated. Nobody talks about it. And the second trap that people are, stuck. And I mean, I feel the pain because I've always been there multiple times. I'm still there. Whenever I start a business, it's the same repeat pain. The trap is because you build the business and now you are the problem. Everybody want to work with you. Customers want to talk to you. Your team asks small questions to you. And you have to take this entire thing out of you and translate that into systems and processes, right? That's where the entire B2B growth engine comes in. And this is what I've just been explaining. So there is the top of the funnel, wherein the people are stranger. You make them aware about what you do. They start showing interest. They start building trust with you, and they become your customer. This is the middle of the funnel. There's the top of the funnel, and there's the bottom of the funnel, right? Everybody has heard about it. So in the top of the funnel, people are talking about, thinking about, your buyers are thinking about their problems, and you have to answer their problems. In the middle of the funnel, they're thinking about the solutions. So if you're asking me a question around the content, what kind of content my sales team, my marketing team should produce? Well, your sales and marketing team should always produce, or the marketing team should always produce three kind of content. Okay, one targeting the tofu, one targeting the mofu, one targeting the bofu. All right, and when you decide your sales structure, also sales process, also if you're selling high ticket consulting kind of product, always do it in two stages. The one part of the small sales team which is working on the MOFU, wherein you talk to them about MQA leads and you qualify them, and then one actually that sells the solution. Okay, uh, this is what I just gave you the answer to, right? This is the most important thing. If you have to really understand what we're talking about here, you have to see that this is where you are. Okay, this is your side, company side. This is the world, your audience universe. You don't know who these people are. You throw them a content which is specifically designed for a tofu audience and mofu and bofu, all at or like all type of content simultaneously. There are some people in the audience universe who are already gone through the problem awareness, this particular thing. They've already understood their problem, and then they are interested. They're just looking for somebody who can solve that problem. If you do this content, the woeful content will resonate with them. Of course, they'll be smaller people, and but you'll have them in your funnel. The ones who are at a middle of the stage, like they are aware of the problem a bit, they know what is the solution, probably middle of the funnel kind of thing. They will resonate or respond to your mofu content, and the others will respond to your tofu content, right? Based on what they respond to, you have this qualification, right? So in your CRM, we use HubSpot. You can use any other CRM. You can give them this qualification. It's called the life cycle stage. You can tell them these are the leads, these are the market qualified leads, and these are the sales qualified leads. And sales qualified leads are the ones that your sales team starts working. Or a small part of your sales team, maybe 2-3 people, you can put on the MQLs also. But remember, when they talk to the MQL, their job is to qualify them and put them into the SQL so that you can actually start selling them something. This is the most important slide. If you can understand it and if you can apply, this is the entire your revenue growth engine. Of course, there are tools, there are email integrations and WhatsApp integrations and CRM and ads and LinkedIn integration that has to happen into this. That depends on what kind of company you're running, what kind of product service that you're selling, and what stage are you, and what actually is your paying capacity. Okay. For that, I want you to book a call with my team. Okay, you can let us know in the comments. You can leave your phone number, or I think we can also leave a phone number. You can simply send a message to this number, and we will get in touch with you. For example, whatever email. Let me give you an email. This is the email that you can send a message to, and my team will get in touch with you. Or I'm going to give you my LinkedIn, which is here. It is. And you can send me a DM here. I'll make sure that my team responds to you. Please share your phone number so that they can talk to you. Let me also give you a WhatsApp number so that it's easier for you to reach. You can simply send a message to this WhatsApp number, or you can call this number whenever you want. And my managers and my team will pick up. They will understand you do, what is the products and services that you're stuck, and based on that, what strategy is going to be applicable for you. Here is a number. So let me see if there are questions. All right, I think we've answered most of the questions. Super. Let's wrap this up now. I want you to build the revenue growth system. I've explained the basics today. And if you've been following me, and if you've been answering these questions for yourself, you should be having a basic understanding of doing it today. If not, I have a ready-made template which has Google Forms in it, which has Excel sheets in it. And by using these step-by-step methods and processes, you can actually build a revenue system, a revenue growth engine for yourself. It does not matter whether you are a B2C, D2C, or a B2B company. It does not matter whether you're selling 1 lakh rupees a month, or 1 crore rupees a month, or 10 crore rupees a month. This system is what works today. If you don't have this system, the chances of you growing are extremely low. We have digital, we have AI now. It's making complicated, and it's making things easy also. You can do it yourself. You can take our help, and you can decide to then do it on your own, right? Have a consultation, understand what should be the strategy, what should be the specific use cases for yourself, and then do it on your own, and you can outsource to my team also. All right, that's the whole thing. That's the whole thing, right? These are some details, right? It's a long thing, as I said, right? Our secret sauce, I explained that. These are some Google Forms that we use, some project sheets that we use. These are some the account management KRA, etc. that we use, right? And with this, we will understand that okay, what exactly is your industry, where you're stuck, what are your solutions and your ICPs, your ideal customer profiles, and what should be your pillar platform, what should be your content strategy, and then based on that, we build the entire system and the structure for you. And then you can use that strategy that we've created. This is all free of cost. My team is going to do that. Just book a call with them. Or you can ask us to execute that strategy for yourself. All right. As I said, keep doing it on your own. Or no, I'm not doing this mentorship program anymore. Right? Probably I'll do it someday, but I'm not doing it anymore. You can reach out to my team. Okay. These are some things that I did earlier. I'm not doing it. Nope, I'm not. I'm not doing it. You can simply reach out to my team, as I said, and we will do the discussion with you, understand, and then we'll be happy to give you the complete strategy. The entire strategy that we prepare, which is free of cost, by the way, is about 15 pages. Okay, this is your marketing analysis, your market analysis, your competition analysis, your online presence audit, and then a strategy, specifically your ICP, your content, your sales, your offer, your lead generation, your lead nurturing, a complete strategy. I'm offering this free of cost, no problems, no questions asked. Just call the number that I shared with you, have a conversation with them, and receive your free consultation, free revenue growth system strategy. I hope you found this discussion useful. Let me know in the comments. Share it with someone that you think may be using it. I'll see you once again. Thank you very much. Enjoy. Have a good day.